Oh, show me up, wake me up, don't wake me up. Southeast Asia's got my soul in a rush. From the jungles to the streets, I'm alive in the scene. Let me stay in this moment, living my dream. I'm rolling through Bangkok, lights flash in the night. Tuk-tuks and markets, yeah, it's feeling so right. Got my pack on my back, Chiang Mai's calling my name. Lanterns in the sky, yo, I'm caught in the flame. Bali's rice terraces, green as far as I see. Ubud's monkey forest, got my spirit running free. Sipping Bia Hoy and Honda streets alive with the sound. Every corner's a vibe, yo, my heart's unbound. Kopangan's full moon dancing under the stars. Sand in my toes, no cares, just bars. From Siem Reap's temples to the Mekong's flow. This journey's my high, don't let it go. Don't wake me up, 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 up. Southeast Asia's got my heart in a rush. Don't wake me up, 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 up.
Help it, I'm caught in the rush of your charm. Like Hanoi's old streets, you keep pulling me in. I crave you like morning fur, can't let you go. Tell myself I'll slow down, but my heart says no. I got a problem, and I'll fix it. Riding through psych on your face in my mind. No way I can quit, though I know I should try. I'm lost in the thought of you, and I know this much is true. Baby, you're my coffee addiction. I'm so caught up in you, can't find my way, but I love it. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. Never get enough, the sweetest rush. Dream of you by the Saigon River every single night. Your smile's like the lanterns glowing in Hoi An's light. No, I should stay grounded, but you're pulling me high. My heart's on a motorbike, chasing you till I fly. I got a problem, and I'll fix it. Riding through the markets, your voice in my head. No way I can quit, though I know I should try. I'm lost in the thought of you, and I know this much is true. Baby, you're my buy me a midnight addiction. I'm so caught up in you, can't find my way, but I love it. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. Never get enough, the sweetest rush. Ain't no doubt, doubt, doubt. So caught up, oh, ain't no doubt. So caught up over you, over you, you. Because of you. And it's all because of you. Never get enough. You're my sweetest rush, and I know this much is true. You, baby, you, hey, you. I'm on me calm sunset addiction. I'm so caught up in you, can't find my way, but I love it. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. Never get enough. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. Never get enough, my sweetest rush. And it's all because of you. And it's all because of you. And it's all because of you. Never get enough, you're my sweetest rush. All we do is chase the road, baby. All we do is chase the road, yeah.
Yeah, Vietnam's got my heart, girl. Let's ride till the sun comes up. Pack my bag, hit the streets, I know it's calling me. Motorbike through the chaos, your smile's my only key. From Saigon's neon lights to Hoi An's lantern glow. Every mile I'm with you, girl, that's all I need to know. Riding through the rice fields, wind in my face is true. Every turn, every town, I'm lost in thoughts of you. Phone stalls at midnight, we share a bowl, no plans. Yeah, your laugh's my compass, guiding me through this land. All we do is roam, yeah. All we do is chase the road, yeah. From the delta to the hills we go. All we do is live this nomad life. All we do is roam, yeah. All we do is chase the road.
Does it work? It works. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the party. Let me zoom into that a little. Does that work better? See that mosquito bite, dude? What's up? How's it going? How's it going, man? It's been a while. It's been a day. So I figured we'd do something today. I kept getting a lot of emails last night So I figured we jump into a few things. There's also been a lot of Vietnamese are pushing back. So it's kind of interesting to look at. I was talking to some friends out in Hanoi and the Itchy in Hoi An. And these are all Vietnamese people. Get mosquitoes, bro. And they're also having similar concerns. So I thought it'd be something we're talking about today. So let's get into it real quick. Give me a second here. Let's switch up a few things. Camera though. And what is this? You. Community, yeah. Just like old times. Let's get into the comments. So if you got any questions, let me know. But for now, let's just kind of get into it. Let me actually set up the board here because I can't see anything. And I pop that out. Ni hao, it's Jace. What's up, man? Long time no see. Give me a sec here. I got to do some stuff. There it is. Ni hao. I feel good today, man. You know, I found this coffee lady. 2 massive coffees for $1. I go there twice a day. I get like 4 coffees. Jace, what's up, man? Oh, Coconut Man. It's the old army, man. Jace, where are you at? Are you still in Vietnam? Long time no see. Oh, Fong. Yeah, that's been a long time, bro. I saw your comment. I was like, who is this guy? Sounds familiar. It's been a minute, dude. So what do we got here? So true. So true. That's my old Adidas shirt. That was in this is when I was in Quang Nai. It's a factory city south of Da Nang. Isn't it crazy? Like every time I move to a new place, I always change my clothes. Like I'll just go out and buy brand new shirts and stuff. So when I see my clothing, I know what I was wearing. Like this Ni hao is for Cambodia. What's up, Rog? You seem very black pill the life about Vietnam. Me, myself, personally, I love it, but maybe it's just me focusing on the positive. Yeah, I saw this actually, I sent this message to a few of my Vietnamese friends. Because maybe I am negative. I'm not going to say I'm not. I guess I do sound negative sometimes. But I did throw it by a few of my Vietnamese friends, and they were all kind of like, they all kind of said the same thing. Is he American? Is he Canadian or something? Life is not peaches and roses right now. Things are getting hard, right? Like I'm not complaining about anything in Vietnam. I really just go over the reality of what's going on, and it's getting tough, dude. It's actually, I got so many random messages and emails in the last like 48 hours of people messaging me saying, hey, I got EID now and it doesn't affect me. And it's just like nobody even gets what's going on. Like then EID is only being used right now to do documentation, like document taxes, work permits, and marriage like renewals for TRC. That's all it's being used for, right? But if that's all it's being used for, why in the blue hell do they need all your information for your entire life? Medical, education, driver's license, biometrics, SIM card, bank account, investing accounts, property, red book information, any gold purchases. Like, why would they need all that? Right? Like, this is only like the beginning. Jesus, hold on. Get out of here. Oh, a mosquito in here. But what's going on with EID right now is it's a process. And if you are Vietnamese or if you're married to a Vietnamese, they're starting to see this process in real time. And they might just go with it. Like this is the thing about Vietnam is it's a nationalist country, meaning you can't criticize the party or the country without criticizing the other, right? Like if I say I don't like Vietnam, that means I dislike the government as well, right? If I say the government's bad, then I'm insulting Vietnam, right? Like this is an interchangeable thing in Vietnam. So when you go to like these like Vietnam forums, you'll see a lot of Vietnamese pushing back, and they have, but they're also being crucified for it as well. So it's a very interesting battle on what's going on in Vietnam. But I think as a foreigner, because Pham, you're a foreigner, right? You're American. You're not going to see like 95% of what's going on right now. Like, you're not supposed to. There's no reason for you to. If you're married, you are, right? you're going to deal with the VidEID for registration of your TT visa, your TRC, right? Like that's really all you're dealing with. If you're an English teacher, you'll deal with it for the taxes, right? Like it doesn't affect us. We're on tier 2, right? So it's very interesting. So I wouldn't say I'm black-pilled. Like that's saying Hong Kong people are black-pilled before the whole mainland China thing happened. That's like saying North Koreans were black-pilled 65 years ago before they got taken over by a dictatorship. I'm not saying that's where Vietnam's going, but to ignore what's happening and to play it off as like I'm chill. I mean, of course you are. And I mean that all due respect. You're an American, bro. You're not Vietnamese. You never will be. You're not allowed to be, right? So a lot of this stuff, it's not focused on us, man. Like, and one thing that I kind of got feedback on about, like, it's about 2 weeks ago, the whole tourist visa run thing, the government's starting to push back on it. And what I mean by that is like they're starting to not care. They've restricted the SIM cards, they've restricted banks, everything has been EID. The what is it called? evisa.gov.vn. That website is now linked to Vitel AI system, which is a military-owned company by the government. Everything is where they need it to be. So I personally, and I've always said they're going to cut back on visa runs. Well, I didn't say they cut back. I said it's going to get restricted. And I think the byproduct is already happening. Right? I see a lot of people on Reddit now saying they're getting tired of the visa running and the bureaucracy of going through the border and getting fucked with and having to redo their SIM card, the inability of sending money back and forth, the whole renting a condo is becoming very challenging because Vietnamese now have to re-register you every 30 days if you're renting like a condo in Da Nang. So it's getting very challenging for the people to deal with foreigners, right? If you're a foreigner, you're going to Da Nang for like, 3 to 5 weeks with your family, it's not a big deal. It really is not a big deal. But if you're planning on living there long term, this is where it starts getting a little strenuous for the Vietnamese people that own these properties that are leasing them to you or whoever, right? So I don't think it's black-pilled at all, man. If I'm black-pilled, that means I'm paranoid. That means I'm hopeless, like I've given up. That means 98 some million Vietnamese are black-pilled too. What I say is not abnormal. We can look at some of these. I'm starting to see a lot of Reddit posts where people are getting fucking petrified about Vietnam. The people are. This message right here would put this Vietnamese citizen in jail for probably the rest of his life. And this whole thing about the government official that ran over a university student and they literally brushed it away and didn't allow the people to talk about it is what's happening right now. Like, there's way more to what's going on. This isn't black. If this is black-pilled, like imagine if, like, you guys are American to an extent. Imagine if Donald Trump was driving around in a Lamborghini and ran over some kid, ended his life, and then the Senate and the House were like, everyone don't talk about that, shut up. If you talk about it, you go to jail. Imagine if that happened. It wouldn't because it's a 3-tier system. He would be in jail, right? In Vietnam, no. They silence the people. This is a government official. He's a tier 2 level branch member, meaning he was part of Hanoi. That's the highest level. They're not going to put him in jail. They're not going to disrespect him. He is the party, right? So it's not, I don't think it's black-pilled. I think it's just a reality check. I don't think a lot of people are going to really, I think a lot of people are invested so heavily into Vietnam, being married, purchased like property, sold everything and moved to Vietnam because some YouTuber told them to. I think these are the people that feel that I'm wrong because I'm destroying their dream. It seems like this is actually what one guy told me that lives out in Saigon. He says, David, you destroy people's dreams. People out here like Evans and Will and Travis are telling people, hey, sell your shit, come out here. And then you're on the other end saying, don't do it, bro. There's no safety net. There's no good job options. There's no long-term visa. You got to marry to stay. That's like marrying for a green card in America, right? So I get it, but I'm not doing it to scare people away. Vietnam's an amazing country. But if you're going to live in Vietnam, the game changes, man. Visiting San Diego is fun, but when you live there, things change, right? Better or worse, it changes, So That's what I think about it. I don't think it's a black pill. If I'm black pilled, then not you, but understand that 98% of Vietnam is black pilled then, because everybody's dealing with oppression. Vietnam is going towards the CCP level. They already have. Who is the? Here's a fun question. Who is in charge of the Communist Party in Vietnam? This is the highest level of power in Vietnam. It's To Long. Who is the president of Vietnam? This is the second highest level of power in Vietnam. To Long. Who tells the general secretary no? The president. Who tells the president no? General secretary. Do you see the issue here? Who tells Xi of China no? If Xi is like, hey, we're going to do this or that, who tells him no? Nobody. If Kim Jong-un wants to do something in North Korea, who tells him no? Maybe his sister, but nobody else, right? Right now in Vietnam, nobody can say no. They've also removed lawyers. Decree 109 has pushed back lawyers, which is a human rights violation. Even the UN and Europe have pushed back on Vietnam for Decree 109. They pushed back like 9 months ago. So it was a human rights violation. Vietnamese cannot take the government or an official to court per their constitution without a lawyer. This is the rule of Vietnam. In America, we can self-defend ourselves. If you in America get into a trouble, a crime, you could go to court and say, I'm going to defend myself. And the judge is going to be like, are you sure? You cannot do mistrials. Yeah, I'm sure. You're good to go. Do it. Vietnam, you're not allowed this. You have to have a lawyer. Decree 109 allows any level of government to remove that lawyer's credentials. So if somebody takes a Vietnamese person's house and relocates them and offers them $1,000 when the house is worth $10,000, they contact a lawyer. The local ward can pretty much tell that lawyer, you stop this, or we're going to pull your credentials for 9 months. Lawyers don't have a voice anymore. This is why you see lawyers like Ken Dome doing videos about Banh Mi. He's not a lawyer anymore. And I'm not saying this is a joke. The government has officially made it clear. They even, I think it was like a couple weeks ago, they went after, where'd it go? These are just shills. Nobody cares. That was like a couple weeks ago. They're going after lawyers, doctors, and English teachers. No, business owners, middle-class business owners. They are all getting mass audited right now. And this is focused in Saigon right now. This isn't Hanoi or Da Nang. This is focused on Saigon. They are destroying the people. Places like SoCom Bank got bought out by the government and they pretty much washed out everybody's accounts, right? These things are happening. So when David's black pilled, what is the white pill? Like, give me some positive, bro. So anyways, that's a big rant. Didn't need to. Either way, let's do another podcast. Yeah, anytime, huh? You might want to tell me in advance what we're talking about, though, because I don't want to get you in trouble out there. Thailand's #1 deadly road accidents, foreigners. Yeah, Thailand has a higher rate, but it's due to, like, I was looking into this, it's due to, like, drug and alcohol. Like, it's due to, like, drug and alcohol. Vietnam, most of the deaths are because of sober, just shitty driving. Foreigners and married, I don't think this guy watched my video. He just typed words. I have never said this wasn't true. That doesn't even make sense for me to say that. Where would you move? I think I covered that. Yeah, we already covered all this. I'm still here, living about 2 hours north of the train. Okay. 3:45 England, damn. Well, good morning, my friend. I agree with you, man. The government is overreaching. They're not overreaching. Communism does not overreach. It does exactly what communism. There has never been a country in human history that ran under communism or socialism that worked. None. Like, name something. Anything. Fucking anything. Like, America's, like, New York City has turned into a socialist city. Look what's happening to it. Right? Like, this stuff doesn't work. Even in first world countries, it doesn't work. It's just, you don't give all entity to a single government. And then when the government consolidates power to a single person, we are no longer in a democracy. We are in dictatorship. We are in North Korea status. We are in post-Rome, right before the collapse, right? Like, we're in that zone at this point. It's very crazy. The new government is way too controlling. No, it's not controlling. It's not a new government. I don't know how much you know about I don't expect anybody to know as much as I do about the government. I worked in it for a long time. I know a lot of people, but the president right now used to work in the Ministry of Security. He was the rule maker of Vietnam for the last like 8.5 years. He had the presidents under his thumb. There's a reason why he has both positions. This isn't normal in Vietnam. He has more power. He has more power than Ho Chi Minh. Like, I'm seriously thinking about it right now. If he was alive today, the current government could arrest him and jail him for life. They wouldn't because he's like the shining star of the country. But I'm just saying, it could happen. Right? It's crazy. You think about if Abraham Lincoln was alive today, could Donald Trump or Biden put him in jail? No. Because there's rules of the land. You can't just jail people because you hate them, right? You can't hear them. Yeah, they're not overreaching at all. They're doing exactly what they do. Thanks for responding. Clear speak, freely, phone trip are both me. Maybe back black pill was the wrong term. Yeah, I don't, because I've heard that a few times it's mostly from Western people. And when I looked into it, because there's a few terms for the term or definitions, and it sounds like somebody that just like I would say a black pill person is kind of the same definition to an extent as like a loser back home. So when I hear that, I'm like, okay, maybe, but what am I wrong about? You know, it reminds me of that meme where the guy's drinking coffee and saying everything's fine, and the house is on fire around him, right? The house is burning down right now, and nobody's doing. You know they're revoking passports right now for citizens. They've been doing this for the last like 6 months. They're just randomly revoking people that have had travel history outside of Asia. They're not fucking around, man. It's a very crazy thing. You're the true opinion. I'm what it is. I'm also the guy that will never be able to go back to Vietnam. I still have my residency card to go. I can go back tomorrow, just walk in there, show my card. I don't think it would go well, though. I am not unknown in these spots. Again, VinEID. Pretty much requiring all the people to start entering everything into the information. Why is the quality like 480? Come on, bro. What's a true opinion, not clickbait? That shit annoys me, bro. Like clickbait. How to retire in Vietnam. And then they talk for 40 minutes and then they never tell you they're married. And then they're like, oh, join my group and I'll tell you more. What would anybody tell you? I see a lot of these guys do these travel guides, and I'm not trying to be mean to these people, but I'm going to call out Ty Lopez if he tries to do something again, right? I'm going to call out the Andrew Tates if they try to lie to people again, right? I'm going to call these people out because they're bullshit, right? And Vietnam, they have their own version of shows. The thing about like Vietnam shows, like in China, they just make up shit, right? Hey, everybody's happy and free. Look how clean the country is. And they're like in this isolated area, right? They'll go to the Uyghur camps, but they won't go into the camp, right? When it comes to Vietnam, people are just trying to sell a fantasy. Again, Vietnam's an amazing country to visit. When you live there, the game changes, man. It really does. And even getting jobs there now is very hard. What do you do in Vietnam? If you live in Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, there's opportunity. You can work at a restaurant, you could work at an IT firm, you can work in a factory as like a manager. There's a lot of opportunities in places like Bangkok, all over Malaysia, Singapore, 100%. If you have an American university degree and some history in IT, there are thousands of jobs out there that pay well. They're hard to get because so many people are applying for them, but there's opportunity. Vietnam, what are you supposed to do? Like, there's this YouTuber, no shame on this guy. I love this guy's channel. He's a chef. Vietnam. But even his only job is like he opens banh mi shops. Yeah, this guy. Like he opens banh mi shops because there is nothing else to do. Nothing against him. I think I love this guy. I think he's awesome, bro. He's one of my favorite like food guys next to Mark Wiens. But even he doesn't have any other options, right? Like there's nothing to do in Vietnam, and English teaching is falling apart.
There was a moment.
Like the average salary is down to like 850. If you're offered a job, the salary is reduced within the first like 3 months because they'll just start hiring Russians and stuff like that. Like the mission, and we're going to talk a little about these English centers, like because I'm not there no more, so I can actually say things about them by name. Is a lot of these English centers, what they're doing is they're just hiring like a random French guy or an American or Canadian. They offer them like $2,000, $1,500 a month, yada, yada, yada. And after 3 to 4 months, they start reducing the hours. And this happens because one, the parents can't afford the classes, or two, they bring in a Filipino or a Russian to take over some of these classes to save on the overhead. And now you got foreigners losing money. You go to Reddit, Facebook groups, Zalo groups for English teachers. Everyone is having the same sentiment. This is things we talked about like 2 years ago I was talking about this. This is what they're gonna do. Vietnam has an obsession with white people when it comes to English. They think Europeans are English. If you're white and you're from South Africa and you say that, they're gonna be like, no, you're not, right? Vietnam is very ignorant towards language and global awareness. But when I was in Da Nang, when I was in Quang Ngai, when I was in Hanoi, I was going around different schools helping them. Every one of them had a token white person. And then a bunch of Russians in the back being the teachers. A bunch of Filipinos, a couple random Arab Africans. But the parents never see them. They see the French guy or the American guy, right? So when it comes to opportunity in Vietnam, it's becoming depleted. On top of that, Vietnam invites, by tradition, new English teachers. No experience, just graduated, or maybe they're older and they have a degree. Vietnam now requires a 2-year reference letter that's notarized by the U.S. Embassy or wherever you're from, right? Well, I guess not now because they're part of HAPA now, but a lot of people don't have that. You know who does? Filipinos, Russians do. And a big question I've been seeing a lot is why are there so many Russians in Vietnam? It's because the war is over. It's pretty much ending. And I've got to talk to a lot of Russian friends that live out in Nha Trang. Two of them are business owners, the rest of them are just randos, right? They've all said the same thing. The war is slowing down. People from Russia and Ukraine are starting to just pack their shit and leave. Ukraine is like fucking whacked out. It's lost. Like it's lost, right? Russia is just going through a weird like USSR thing again when it comes to like control. So a lot of these people are like, Vietnam was a Soviet friend back in the Cold War. So a lot of Russians are now packing their shit, going to the Trang or Pho Qua, because these are originally Russian cities. The Trang has always been Russian. Pho Qua has always been kind of half and half Russian Vietnamese. Always has been, right? But now they're starting to flood up to the Trang or Da Nang, which makes sense. I mean, Da Nang is kind of a similar atmosphere to the Trang. It's more Europeans rather than Russians, where the Trang is a Russian town. People that go to the Trang and get angry about Russians make no sense. That's like going to Chinatown. Why are there so many Chinese? Bro, shut up, right? It's an interesting thing, but yeah, I don't know. When I hear black pill, I just think of the loser back home. But I mean, I think people throw that word around too easy. Everybody's a loser back home. Okay. That's a fair assessment too. So what does that make Vietnamese people? Because they're broke, they can't afford shit. They're damn near homeless based on like global economic standards. $207 is the national income per month nationally in Vietnam as of last month. $207. I made more yesterday on a fucking meme coin, right? Like, it's crazy. So I don't understand the loser back home. Like, what do you call a Vietnamese that goes to America? Because they're going to be poor. They're going to be struggling, man. They're going to be fighting to get that American dream, right? Or if they go to Australia, the same story, right? So are they losers too? Like, I don't get the term loser back home. If I'm not mistaken, it was invented by some Chinese chick like 15 years ago, and it just kind of came back and it got thrown onto nomads and stuff. I don't understand it. Like, if I think of losers back home, I would think more of a personality trait rather than like because you get people that are like what do you call them? Economic refugees, you know, refugee tourists, or foreigners that come to Vietnam, they marry Vietnamese just to stay, right? Like, Maybe I would put that in the category. But somebody that just packs their shit and says, fuck it, I'm tired of living in New York City. No, like, I think that Kevin guy, right? He's from New York, Cyprus or something like that. I wouldn't call him a loser back home. He was just getting tired of New York's bullshit. And he left, went to Vietnam. I don't blame him. I would have too. Vietnam's or not Vietnam, New York's a shell. But hey, this is what communism does, right? It's what socialism does, destroys. I think the average rent in New York right now, like Manhattan and Brooklyn area, is like $6,200 a month now. What the fuck? So I don't know, man. Loser back home. I think it's just I think people just use it to abuse it. Like they see me, they're like, oh, loser back home. Because I get told all the time, oh, David was blacklisted. Oh, David, his wife left him. David can't get a job. Like, what? Look at me. Look at the people that marry Vietnamese people, and then look at me, okay? Vietnamese are very visual people, okay? If David can't do it, nobody can, okay? That's what I'm saying. But, yeah, I don't know, man. But it is weird, though. I see some guys, and no weird shit, no Drake stuff, but there's quite a few attractive YouTube guys that their wives look like they just got thrown in front of a truck for 6 hours straight. Like, I feel like some people just have a fetish with Vietnam. They're like, I'll marry anybody just to stay here. It's so weird. When I grew up in America, we called it yellow fever. You would see like the random kid dating some like girl, Asian girl, no interest, maybe not even in language compatibility. Girl looked like she just got ran over by a train 16 times ago, right? But the talking point is like, well, you know, she's Asian though, bro. Kung fu. It's like, what are you doing, dog? Sarah's cute, right? So I don't know, man. I think that's weird too, because a lot of my Vietnamese friends say that. They're like, David, you grew up in our world, yet you're not like obsessed. Like I actually am the polar opposite with Vietnamese. I don't want to marry into Vietnamese culture. I despise it. I don't want to be a babysitter to my father-in-law, my mother-in-law. I don't want them to live in my damn my house, right? Like I don't agree with the Vietnamese culture. This is a big reason why I never, even in America, I was dating a girl named An for like 4.5 years. We were supposed to get married. She was a friend of my uncle. Not related uncle, so calm down. But I ended up not doing that too, because I didn't, and this was back when I was like 19. Like I just didn't agree with Vietnamese culture, because my family growing up were boat people. They were refugees from Vietnam, the war. So they still had that mindset of what Vietnam has in Vietnam. And I just like, even when I talk to my mom about it, she's like, you're committing to the family, David. This isn't marrying her. She's a great girl, but you're not marrying her, dude. You're adopting a family. Make sure you know what you're doing, right? And I ended up cutting it off, going to the military after that. And then in Vietnam, same thing. I dated a girl for like 3.5 years. And the writing was on every fucking wall when I started talking with the parents and shit. It was obvious what was going to happen. She was an amazing woman, but the family. And it's crazy. A lot of my Australian friends that were married in Vung Tau, like that, this is like 5-7 years ago. But a majority of them that got divorced, I'm not saying they all did. I'm saying the majority of the ones that were divorced, the reasoning was usually the mother or father-in-law. It wasn't the wife. It was the pressure from the family. It's like as soon as you get married, it's like the father hurt his toe. Now he can't work for the rest of his life, and he's 42, right? It's like, fuck out of here. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't mean to be mean about it. And it's perfectly fine. You know, like some people don't like Spanish culture, so they won't marry a Latina. Some people don't like African culture, so they won't marry an African. Some people don't believe in Islam, so they won't marry a Muslim woman, right? Like everyone has their preference of like, there's things to consider when you get married. Like I hear a lot of like Christian people say you should always marry a Christian woman. Your values are on the same page. I think I agree to an extent, right? I'm not saying go out and hunt Christian women until you find a good one, but there should be a value that is shared. If you're marrying a woman that you have to have a conversation with Google Translate, there's already problems. There's already a problem, right? If you're marrying a Vietnamese woman so you can stay in Vietnam longer, there is a problem with that guy. You are now a green card. Like, remember in America, we made these jokes back in the 90s where like a Mexican girl would marry some fat old white guy to get an American green card, right? That's what's happening in Vietnam right now, and they're praising them. But in America, we laugh. Deport these people, right? But in Vietnam, it's happening. Everyone's like, oh, good job. Stop it, bro. But I got nothing against, man. If anybody gets married in Vietnam, it's always the same advice. When your kids are old enough to go to school, take them back home. Give them opportunity, a better education. Give your family a better life. It's that simple. I've read the K1 books, the grade 1, grade 2 literature books. If you guys have kids, look at their school books. It's fucking horrible. Translate them. It's worshiping the government. They're literally brainwashing these kids by the age of 6. And it's not like, the government did this or that. It's like worship or else. They teach self-snitching by grade 2. It's crazy shit. I don't mean to rant on this. It's just I don't understand a lot of people when they push on me. Because I feel like a lot of people are they're in too deep that they can't get out. And that's fine. Like, I see some of these YouTubers that have been in Vietnam for like 5 or 6 years. They've been in Da Nang. They're doing whatever they're doing. They can't afford to go back home. I see people like do a lot of these videos like how to live on $800 a month in Da Nang, right? Cool, great. These people can't go back to America. You're not living on $800 a month in the US. You know what I mean? So their income is based off donations or whatever they're doing, which is literally less money than you would get on food stamps living in New York, right? So I get that a lot of these people are just stuck. So I get it. So I don't know. I don't mean to rant. It's just what it is. Oh my God. I can't read this out. High school girl, da-da-da. Jesus. You've got the Japanese in here. Oh my God. Japanese people are posting this. Henderson 36. Interesting. I don't read kanji, so I don't know. Oh, here it is. Oh, it's the article. Yeah, like shit, like Vietnamese are pushing back on this heavy. Yeah, this isn't happening. But is it a fact we normal Vietnamese are fighting justice? I don't know who you are, but saying that is just really mean. Is this a communist in Japan? Yep. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I was saying this earlier, and it kind of goes back to the black pill thing. A lot of Vietnamese they're scared, bro. They're fucking scared. They're petrified. A lot of people are starting to see what's going on, where Vietnam is starting to follow the CCP's pattern. The difference now is the CCP didn't have tech back in 2009, right? Vietnam has AI. It has digital systems, databases, infrastructure, right? So they're able to do what took China 20 years, they're able to do in 3 because they have the technology. Look how fast everything happened. QR codes, banking systems, monetization, gold lockdowns, housing partitions, school migrations, Providence migrations, tax reforms of July 31st, FDI, like you guys heard last year that the GDP was record high because of FDIs. They're selling the land to foreign entities for factory work that's being automated, right? Unemployment is at like 30-some% in Vietnam. They won't tell you this. It is though. There was a massive graduation, I think like what, a month and a half, 2 months ago, like the national university graduates or some shit like that. It's something like 40% of them can't find work, literally none. Coffee shops, tech, nothing. Because there is no jobs. Because the education teaches them to be idiots. And it's unfortunate too. You would think a country that wants to improve, the first thing you focus on is education. If we're going to be a better nation, we should be a smarter nation, right? Makes sense. They don't do that, man. Not at all. We want to be a better nation, so let's just control everything. Blah, blah, especially when the power could they literally get away with even corrupt and punch over the time. I could clearly see that people with low income and no connections are so fragile. They unfortunately go against the big blah, blah, connection. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's called tyranny, isn't it? Why is authoritarian in quotes? Vietnam is literally a one-party dictatorship. Yeah. Again, who's the president and who's in charge of the party? It's the same person. That shouldn't be allowed. That's not technically allowed by government, by the Constitution of Vietnam. How many people in Epstein? Jesus Christ. Why do people just go to fucking back to America? These guys are complaining about the dictatorship of Vietnam, and this guy's, what about Epstein? Who cares, dude? Is Epstein in Vietnam? This is crazy. And then he edits saying low IQ people. Whataboutism? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's getting weird. It really is. We'll see what happens. I mean, if you're in Vietnam right now, have a plan B. Like, that's my 2 cents of advice. Have a plan B. Invest, whatever it is. Start calling your parents or friends back home in Canada, Australia, America, saying, hey, what if I decided to come back home with my wife and kids? Could we crash with you for like 2 months so I can find something? You know, whatever it is, have a backup plan. When you guys see, like, I don't care, right? Let's just call people out at this point. Like, when you see people like this that are telling you to sell everything and move to Vietnam, they are selling you packages. Look at these videos. And it's not just Evan, it's a few of these guys. Why is the quality like made in China? Look at the comment, like his description. It's all affiliate shit. These people are lying to you. Evan is lying to you. What more writing do you need? The first comment pinned, more what do you guys need? The people that fall for this guy are the same people that bought Tai Lopez's programs. They're the same people that invested in Andrew Tate's programs. These are the same people that get locked up in Ponzi schemes because they just want to be told what they want to hear. The fact this guy does retirement videos about like Europe, he's never been there. He's never like been an American. Like, it's just crazy to me, man.
In its history, including even World War I?
This is about the party. This is going around too. It actually got banned. BBC's banned in Vietnam, but it was going around for a while. This is when Trump was talking about communism is bad. Vietnamese are starting to post this everywhere, saying Trump even says communism is bad. What's going on in our country? People know what's going on. They're not retarded at all. Why is the quality so ass? Yeah, this is a big one right here. There's 2 types of people. Those who know this is BS, it's not. It's actually on camera. This accident was actually filmed on Vietnam national TV. When they found out who he was, they deleted everything. They posted this video on Vietnam national TV to find out who this guy was because they wanted him in jail as an example. When they found out he was a tier 2 Vietnamese Communist Party member, they deleted everything. This comment is disgusting. This is disgusting. I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, this is disgusting. It is not an entitled rich guy. It's a government employee. You guys can look into this, man. This thing is disgusting. Yep. Remember that Vietnamese butcher? They deleted that shit too. Because he was connected to somebody. His uncle was actually somebody of importance. So they deleted, because you guys heard about the Vietnamese butcher, right? They actually started deleting that story because they found out his uncle was somebody of importance. David's black pilled. Not trying to make fun of you, Fawn, but there's so much going on. I just don't think a lot of people really comprehend how crazy shit's getting. Always have a plan B. What is all this? Empty for 6 months. Why is the quality so cheesy?
This build.
Not clickbait. Thanks for the clarifying. I get what you're saying, bro. But of course, I'm on this second tier because I'm married and I'm building a business and working as hard as I can to start a family here. Yeah, I get it, man. If you're living in Vietnam on a foreign passport, you guys aren't gonna feel this stuff for like at least another like 2 years. It's not gonna fuck. They're going fast, maybe in like a year, but you're not gonna feel it for a while. Your family might, but you're not. But if your wife doesn't even work, your mother-in-law doesn't work, you actually support the family financially, then they probably won't even feel this for another year and a half either. Because they're not having to deal with this shit. Yeah, this guy, I don't know, Tran Thu, I don't know who this is. He's on CJ. This guy is like one of these guys that goes to like AI and asks it for information. Just because it's a rule in the government books does not fucking mean anything. The government books ideally say foreigners can buy land for investment. This is not true. You can't. Name somebody. All the Da Nang is loser back home. I don't think so. I think they're just stuck. Because I mean, who's in Da Nang? It's like Will, that Sammy guy, right? Travis is out there now. Like a lot of these people left because they just realized, like, yeah, this old guy is weird. Like this guy's like a shill and a half. He's like an Evan, but he's more aggressive. The Nang raids. Why is Will trying to look skinny? Using AI. Come on, bro. Yeah, there's not a lot going on. It's just random like tours videos at this point. Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot going on today. Like, who lives out there more? You got Will, I know that, right? And then you got this guy. And then you have that Sammy guy, he like walks around.
How would you feel
Why is it so blurry?
if police came knocking at your door at 3 in the morning, asking you to pee in a cup, show your passports, and for them to search your
Unexpected raids, authority conducting mass unexpected police department buildings. Broad targeting, the crackdown targets both dealers and individual users, including expats, tourists. Yeah, you know, drug abuse in Da Nang and Hue have a massive methamphetamine abuse problem, and it's within the Vietnamese side. It's not foreigners. But if you go to places like Hue, like has what is that place? Imperial Cities there. It's one of the largest meth areas in Vietnam. I think number 2 is District 4 Saigon, and then Da Nang is like number 7 or something like that. It is a big problem. It's not foreigners though. Like I think foreigners just smoke weed, right? Like that's all they really do. But the hard stuff is always Vietnamese and Chinese. Serious consequences. Those found in violation. No, if you're caught with that stuff, you're just going to jail and deported. There's like no play games. Yeah. 6'9".
What's up?
Willie. Huh. Yeah, I think a lot of these people in Vietnam now are just kind of like, they don't do anything no more. What is that one guy's name? Like even the lawyers are scared. Oh, that's Amy. I actually know this girl.
What is the rough cost of a unit like this?
18 million Vietnam dong, right?
Yeah, I know who she is. She lives in I think, I'm not going to dox her. Yeah, I knew her back in 2016. I can't tell you why, nothing bad, calm down. But when I lived in Saigon, I dealt with a lot of SSI, which is an investing group, and I dealt a lot with agents and government sides of taxation. So I got to meet a lot of these people. She's a sweet girl.
It's a night adventure.
Oh, I didn't mean to close that. Hold on. Yeah, even this guy's videos, they're just like clickbait at this point. Like these aren't even lawyer videos at this point. He's talking about like prostitution. He's talking about how to live on like $100 a day. Trump, China nukes. Do you guys remember that when Vietnam was they signed the nuclear plan with Russia, and I said that was bullshit. It's not gonna happen. How's that going? I remember a lot of people called me stupid for that. Like, no, you're wrong, David. Russia's gonna help them. Vietnam's gonna build nuclear plants. Dude, the WHO and the UN have both said fuck no. America has said fuck no. Europe has said fuck no. Thailand has said fuck. They don't trust Vietnam. But it's still, like, have you guys heard about it? Because it doesn't exist. It's quite interesting. Willie. Yeah, he's like one of the last guys in Da Nang, isn't he? He just does live streams and shit though, yeah. I like how they use AI to make themselves like 190 pounds lighter. And then you have that one guy, Break the Habit, I think his name was. Yeah, this guy. You got the victim of Evan and the other guy. Like this guy just stopped making content. He just like stopped. Hope he's okay, man. But it seems like he just gave up. Like this guy was persistent. He kind of fell into that like will travel Evan loop. Yeah, that army travel guy. This guy's a tool. Oh, it's crazy to have 100,000, 90,000 subs. You barely pulled 90 views. What a loser. I am a U.S. Salute to you, sir. U.S. citizen. I live in Vietnam, just outside Saigon. Yeah, you're fine, man. You are 100% fine. As an American or Canadian or Australian in Vietnam, you're not going to see a lot of this stuff because you're not involved at all. Like most people are not involved in this stuff, right? Like you're probably around Vietnamese that are westernized. You're probably working in Western style jobs, living around Western style communities, going to Western style bars, eating West. You know what I mean? It's all. We don't see a lot of this stuff. Like you're not going to see what's going on to that extent, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, places like Saigon and Da Nang are probably the two best spots to be as a Westerner at this point. The good or the bad depends on the goal. I don't know what that means. The goal of the government? Like, if you need the goal of the government, it's very obvious what's going on. I could sit here for an hour and just go through different decrees through their legal constitution, and it'll be obvious what's going on. July 1st was insane how many tax laws and regulations they put on people. Yeah, this guy's just doing the same dumb shit. I personally think Vietnam is crap. I actually suggest average. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my 2 cents. I've been the same for like, since the pandemic, I've always said the same. Vietnam is a great country to visit. But when you move to Vietnam, things change. They really do. You have to start becoming part of the, like you're kind of getting closer to the bureaucracy that you have to deal with. And it can be stressful. And again, a lot of these rules that are affecting foreigners are byproducts of laws that Vietnamese deal with. You know, if a Vietnamese changes their phone, they have to like go to Vintel and like go through a biometric reset, right? You can't have anything older than an iPhone 12 in Vietnam. So I think it was like last week or something like that, they were forcing Vietnamese to biometric their SIM cards, and anybody that had a phone older than an iPhone 12 had to buy a new phone. The government refused them to use the SIM card in them. And the one doing it was Vintel, which is a government-ran company, right? I'm just speculating, but it sounded like a Ponzi scheme. The government was Ponzi scheming their own people. on the SIM card system. So I don't know, man. I think Vietnam's a great country. I really do. It's fucking awesome, dude. Like, especially if you're from a Western nation. We all grew up seeing the movies, hearing the music, seeing the culture, tradition. Most of this is Chinese and Vietnamese. So it's really cool to go to Vietnam and see it, right? We don't, like, I don't know, in America, we didn't grow up seeing Cambodian and Filipino or Thai or Malaysian culture as an Asian culture in America. If you ask the average American what countries in Asia back in like the 80s and 90s, most people would just say China, Japan, and Vietnam, right? Like, so that's what I find, that's what really gives Vietnam that unique touch. It's awesome too, man. It's fucking awesome. But when you decide to live in Vietnam, that's when things get tough. Because it's not what people think. Things get tough. And you're in Saigon, which is very, very good. Like, you don't want to be outside of these cities because it will become a different world. Yeah, there was everything's monitored. Hold on. Somebody sent me an image of out in Hanoi. Where did that picture go? Hold on. But it was a traffic light. And it had like 20 cameras on it. This was in Hanoi too. Yeah, here it is. How do I download? Download give me a sec here. Yeah, this is out in Hanoi somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So probably like 45 cameras, 44 cameras. Just saying. It's fucking crazy, dude. Yeah, everything is monitored, man. Everything you buy, everything, everywhere you go. You know, VinEID on an Android by default turns on GPS. It's an interesting fact. So if you have an Oppo or an Android and you install VinEID, it will, some phones have reported to defaultly turn it on because the app turns it on. And it self-authorizes that shit. I know iPhone doesn't. iPhone sandboxes stuff though. So an app can't just reach like your camera without your permission because everything's sandboxed in iOS. So I don't know. Oh, I see it all, man. I think you're undervaluing and underestimating the amount of understanding Vietnamese culture being married to my wife. Nah. I understand everything, bro. I don't need to be married to a citizen to know what I know. I think that's what a lot of people, because I get these Don Johnsons and these other weirdos that marry Vietnamese. I'm not saying this about you, like, because you don't email me threats, but maybe, I don't know. But I get people that use this card of like, well, I'm married and my wife used to do this or that, so I know more than you, David. No, you don't. It's crazy to me, bro. Like, I had a guy email me, it was like a week ago or some shit like that. He was saying, like, you know, you keep talking about this VinEID. It doesn't affect my wife. It doesn't affect her parents. I replied back, what does she do for a job? What does the parents do? The reply was, I make the money. They don't have to do shit. Then no shit. If a Vietnamese person is not working, going to school, doing anything in Vietnam government, what was that fault? Then they're not really going to see a lot of this shit. They're just going to register their SIM card and shut the fuck up. It's that simple. But no, I understand exactly what's going on. Rules don't matter here. It's all crap. Shoot one day. The rules X. Yeah. Yeah, they are very selective. But the thing going on now is a lot of rules are being enforced by the government and AI systems. So, like, you know, like, you live in Saigon, you see the cops on the corner pulling people over. They are now being watched by AI cameras on the traffic. So they are not allowed to cheat people. Taking bribes is getting harder. Vietnamese now have a way to report police officers that extort them on the VNEID app. So if Vietnamese gets pulled over by a Vietnamese cop, he says, hey, give me 50K and I'll let you go. The VND guy, or I'm sorry, the Vietnamese could just take a picture of him and send it off through the app and that police officer gets in trouble. It's a self-snitching country, right? But now they're even putting the police against the wall. And I don't know how many people know this, but if you are a police officer in Vietnam with the khakis or the black uniform, you have to pay a monthly subscription fee to stay in that position. It's not a job that you apply for. It's a job you buy into. That's why they're always pushing money at the end of the month. It's not for tea money. It's to pay their HOA fees to be a cop. It's very crazy. But yeah, government was resetting. Yeah, they've been doing the resetting of SIMs has been going on for about 5 months. It's just it's now as of July 1st, they've mandated biometrics, SIM card registration, bank registration, and driver's license information on the VinEID. This is only for Vietnamese, not for foreigners. Again, if you're a foreigner in Vietnam, you're not going through this stuff. The government doesn't care. Like, unless you have like a UD1 visa, which is a financial sector visa, if you have a TRC with a work permit through a government or a Vietnam company, then they'll have a little interest. But if you're somebody that's married or you're on a tourist visa, they don't really give a shit. They've already hurt the married people. You used to be able to get a 5 or 10 year TRC if you're married in Vietnam. Now the maximum's 3 years, but most people just get 2. And I think that Epic guy had to do a visa run because of the whole setup was fucked up. So it's crazy stuff, man. But they are definitely cracking down. Everyone's monitored, yeah. Yeah, there are no benefits, but you do pay for them. Oh, shit. So you don't think he's being monitored in the U.S. now? Ken Dong is not American, from my understanding. He went there for school. His companies, he has a company that we researched. I actually had somebody go to his building. It's not there. It's a rental. It's like where you rent an address kind of a thing. He doesn't really have a business there. He also, there's a Singapore address that I had a friend look at that lives in Singapore. Same thing. It was a shopping center kind of a thing. I don't think anything he has internationally is like active. In America, though, if you research it, it's very easy to do. He's actually late on his legal fees in America. There's a fee that lawyers have to pay per year that allow them to practice law in that county, whatever county they're in. He hasn't paid them in a long time. So he can't even practice law in that area, right? And I've never seen him do a video about American assistance or anything like that. He doesn't do that. He doesn't even talk about like Singapore assistance. So I don't know what he's doing. I've heard he's opened restaurants in Saigon, like little banh mi shops or some dumb shit, but I think Ken is feeling the pressure of Decree 109. He being a lawyer in Vietnam right now is not good. You don't have any, you're losing everything. It's nothing against Ken. The government did it, not me. I'm not saying it to be an asshole. I am monitored both by via the US government. Income is monitored by, yeah, the US is, yeah. I think it's like $122,000 that you actually have to file like per, like I have to file yearly because I have real estate. So I fall under that category, but yeah, as an American, we have to. I think it was Obama that passed that law, but he set the threshold at like 122, 125,000 US dollars. So if you make less than that, you don't really pay any federal tax, right? And obviously, if you're living in Vietnam for a couple of years, you're no longer going to be a resident of the state. So you don't really claim a state. Again, talk to your whoever, your accountants. But it's quite interesting. Why is the screen black and white? I want to be handsome in color. Boom! I'm also married to Viet. That's the additional set of issues to deal with. Yeah. I don't know, man. My advice is always the same. Once you have kids, they're old enough to go to school, get out, go home. Take your family, go back. I think staying in Vietnam anymore, like if this was 15 years ago, I wouldn't say this, but people that have kids in Vietnam and stay here, why? Like, I feel like it's a selfish move. So you can live, so the foreigner can live cheaper, but the family has to live through the oppression that's going on. It really is all this stuff. So I don't know, man. And who would, like, want to live in America or Canada or Australia as a Vietnamese? They all do. So I don't know. I always think get them out. Flock cameras in the US, you're only looking at the sidewalk. You keep saying I don't understand anything, man. You really need to chill out. The whole flock camera is just another CCP move the government. Every government's doing this. The US is just the last to actually infringe on people's rights, but your idea that I don't understand anything confuses me. Like catching criminals, no. Because the flock cameras track everything. They track your plate, they can pull your information, they know who you are. There's more to those cameras, bro, and they're also made out of China. I'm not with it, man. I understand the benefit of it to an extent, because we used to have automated cameras like in the 2000s. They put them on things, and if you ran red light or you're speeding, the camera took an image of you because it had like a radar on it, right? That's fine, whatever. But now they're just like AI digitally stampy people. Nah, bro, that's not kosher at all. Cameras have no. In Vietnam, they do, yeah, but that wasn't the purpose, but they do. They also monitor the local police. The AI cameras are integrated into Vintel's AI system, which is ran by the military. It's an interesting thing, because I remember Ken did a video about that. Where is it? Where he said that the government put him in to watch foreigners, and the comment section was just retarded. Get rid of the foreigners. They're ruining Vietnam. 2% of the population is destroying the country. No. Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't take this guy serious. And even when he talks about decrees, it doesn't seem like he fully understands it. Like, I would love to know what law degree he has. Like, what does he actually practice? Like, business law, criminal law, governmental law, family practice? Like, what does he do? Because I look at his channel, I've looked at his companies, we've researched what we can. I've talked to other lawyers in Saigon. Nobody really knows. They think he's just a generic lawyer that has a presence on YouTube. Oh yeah, here it is right here. Yeah, see, he calls it the Great Reset.
Hanoi is
Vietnam fires 20 and 41 nights, surrenders, the Great Reset. Like, this guy's ridiculous. Is this the camera one? Yeah. My family in Vietnam all like the change. Of course they do. You're not allowed to be against anything. I'm curious on that. Hold on. Is this the migration thing? Oh, this is the migration of government. Yeah, this was a fucking mess. They literally deleted the middleman, and they called it consolidating power. And then after the people accepted it, the party leader became president, and they said the same thing, consolidation of power, to make things easier. Yeah, I don't know. What a joke. I never said I know more than you, Ben, for you. No, I'm not. You're taking me the wrong way. I'm not saying I'm smarter than anybody or dumber than you. All I do, and I say this to everybody, Ken Dong, lawyers, Evan, all these guys that despise me. If anybody disagrees with anything I say, you hate what I say, or you think I'm wrong, take it up with the president of Vietnam. All I do is I literally just recite what the government's saying right now. I recite their plan system, their outlines. I was at their convention center, Hanoi, back in 2023 it was. I was representing part of the Ministry of Finance when I was there. Their 2035 plan, I got to hear it directly from the last president. They are on a mission. And what we're seeing right now is it. Like, and it's not that, and if anybody disagrees with me, that's fine. Oh, it's raining again. But I'm not saying anything as an opinion. But I can see patterns. China did this shit. Like, if you guys ever get really bored, if you like history, read about North Korea's history before they were a dictatorship. It's actually insane. North Korea was free. It was kind of like South Vietnam if you compare the level of freedom and what happened. But over time, they kept accepting shit to the point where it became what it is today, right? China is the same thing. It led to Hong Kong. Oh, the Westerners took Hong Kong away. That's fine. They gave it back. They told them, give them 50 years to be their own entity. The CCP said, fuck no. Now Hong Kong is no longer a world financial power. Bangkok and Singapore are, right? It's crazy to me, bro. But yeah, I don't say anybody knows more than me. No, not at all. I just recite what's in the government. I grew up in the culture. I understand it. I have family back home that tell me things they know. I've been in these buildings, these offices. I've worked at banks. I've ran businesses. I've done all this crazy shit. The only thing I don't have on my resume that everybody seems to want me to have is I've never married a Vietnamese citizen, and I don't want to. And that's not going to change my like credentials any. Like if I was married today, would you guys take me more serious? If the answer is yes, that's weird. It's very weird. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't say that or no. Though is that is simply not true. My brother-in-law just got speeding ticket in the mail from one of those cameras. You talk about the AI camera. The AI camera's first job was speeding and running red. Remember in Vietnam, this happened what? November last year, they put up signs like 50 million V&D if you run a yellow or red light, right? Those cameras were catching people. This is why literally the next day everybody stopped the red lights, because the cameras, they are actually going after that shit. And here's an update they added back in July. If they flag you, okay? Like they get your plate and they fine you, because everything is linked to VIN-EID. It's supposed to be like February next year, where if you get a speeding ticket, like the camera catches you, they just auto deduct from your bank account. No questions, no warning, right? If they find out that your bike that you got a speeding ticket on was not your bike, registered wise, and you can't be like, oh, it's my uncle's, he's right here, but it's like, oh, I bought it from somebody, I don't know who they are. You could actually get your bike taken in with, it's something like a 35 million V&D fine. So they're also going over registration validity, which they should. I get it, man. But those days of like buying a motorbike on Facebook and then driving from Saigon to Hanoi and then selling it on Facebook group, that shit's over. Because if you get pulled over in a random city, they're just going to take your bike. There is no blackmail. There is no extortion. The police are being monitored by the cameras. People think that the police on the road, the khakis, they're not high level. They're actually not that high of a level. I had more authority over them as a foreigner working, right? They're just above the guy that wears the green. And they're at the same level as the guy that wears the black. And the guys that wear the black are typically government officials' children. So it's the hierarchy of the government is not what people think. And when they merged the provinces, it cut in half everything. So those khaki police don't even really have a lot of authority. They're nobodies, damn near. Yeah, they're above the warder that sits at the door as like a security guard sleeping, but they're not really that important anymore. And I mean that in all due respect, but this is what the government's done. They've actually reduced them. They've reduced a lot of, I think it was like last year they fired like 300,000 government officials because of the migration. To get a SIM, you need a passport or eSIM. Yeah, I've heard the eSIM is not being touched. That's actually an interesting statement. I've heard the eSIM is doable. Because you have like Holafly, I think it's called, that eSIM company. If you have AT&T in Vietnam, you can use an eSIM. But yeah, I've heard they haven't dealt with it. But there's a crazy thing going on. This is just hearsay from people, is the government's going to start cracking down on VPN usage. And I know people might say, well, that's not possible, David. China did it. The great firewall of China, they know how to regulate the VPNs. It can be done. And remember, Vitel is owned by the government. The government's party leader used to work in the Ministry of Security, which is part of the government in the military, right? So it's like all these dots they're all kind of coming together. It will be interesting though. The eSIMs though, yeah, I've heard no issues. I've actually heard a lot of foreigners on Reddit say, get the eSIM, it's better than getting a SIM card because it's less bullshit. So it sounds like the eSIM is the best way to go right now. It's a job to get your to get info if your family's profession. The computers are not intended for speedy, but license registration. What do you guys, you talk about the AI camera? The AI cameras were originally installed, and the first thing, they installed them for many reasons, but the first actual function that they unlocked was speeding and running red lights. So for about three to 5 months in Hanoi, that's all they were doing. They were just clocking people running red lights and speeding. So those cameras could do anything. They're AI cameras. They're connected to Vitel. So there's nothing they can't do. I'm sure now, like I have no idea now, but I know what they're capable of, but I don't know what they've unlocked. But they can do anything. You guys see those Chinese videos where they have like a Minority Report where it's like zooming in on people's faces and it's identifying who they are and if they're a threat, yada, yada, yada. That's what those cameras could do. Have they activated that stuff yet? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that is a little bit annoying considering I never have a plan on leaving. Only give me 2 years. I've been here for 8. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They dropped the TRC for marriage by 50%. And it was interesting too, because I had a couple of YouTubers that are married that told me I'm an idiot. You're retarded, David. They're not going to get rid of people that are here married. We're of value. I'm like, no, you're not. And then not even like 2 months later, they cut the marriage TRC down to 5 years, and then a month later they cut it down to 2 years, all in 3 months. And I emailed the guy back about it. Still ain't heard a reply. It's been a year. But I don't know. I think people just want to. They think Vietnam's still 2010. It's weird to me. Yeah, if you run a red light or something like that, you'll get in a serious fine. So I'm just kind of reading the comments. Like everything you guys are saying, I could sum it up in just one word. It's control. They just want to control every aspect of whoever's here. And again, this is all focused on the people. This has nothing, when people say that tourists are a target or tourism is destroying Americans, Canadians are destroying Vietnam, that's not true. Like, if no more white and black people came to Vietnam as tourists, they all just said, fuck it. They never returned, never came back again. They all left that were here. It would not really hurt Vietnam. Vietnam's tourism last year was 8.8% of the GDP, where almost 97% of it were Asian people from around Asia and domestic Vietnamese. Foreigners do not account for a lot of tourism in Vietnam. Also, look at these YouTube videos of Will Travel, Travis, anybody. Evan, CJ, their videos are about how to live cheap. The government knows these videos exist. Do you think they want somebody living in Vietnam for 5 years living on a Vietnamese salary? No. They want Chinese and Koreans to come here. They drop like fucking $4,000 or $5,000 in 2 weeks and they go back home. This is literally 97-ish% of all tourism. It's massive, man. Tourism is a big deal in Vietnam, but it's not it's not Western people. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't understand why Western people always hate on Western people in Vietnam. They're not the problem. They never were. You know, you got that guy that robbed the silver shop, PNJ, right? Horrible shit, right? It's like a dust of sand on the beach. It's not that big of a deal. Domestic violence last year is up like 400%. Vietnamese women are not safe in Vietnam to an extent. They have a high chance of getting their asses handed to them by their husbands. This is normal, right? Ignore gun crime went up 40-some% last year. David, you can't buy a gun in Vietnam. They're making them with 3D printers. They're taking them from veterans and fixing them. What do they call that word? makeshift guns or some shit like that, I think is the term. But that's up. Breaking and enterings are up something like 200% last year. It's insane how fast the crime is skyrocketing in Vietnam. But if you're a foreigner living in like Saigon or Da Nang, you're not going to see this. I promise you. You have no reason to see this. Vietnamese don't rob foreigners. They might cheat you on a fucking banh mi sandwich. They might rob you financially at a street market, yeah, but they're not going to break into your house. They're not going to steal your car. They're not going to borrow your child and take him to Cambodia and hold him for ransom. They're not going to do this stuff to us. Rock, no, I understand all. Dan Hart, Jesus, I haven't heard that in a minute. Mr. Seattle, Washington, yeah. You know what's crazy about Dan is he said something about an old emperor or something like that. He said something about a holiday. It wasn't about Ho Chi Minh. It was about some old guy way before Ho Chi Minh. But he just made a comment about it. And yeah, the problem with Dan is because other Vietnamese say it too. Everybody says it to an extent. The problem with Dan was he was very famous. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, this guy, he speaks fluent Vietnamese. He's married to a Vietnamese wife. He has like 2 or 3 kids, an American guy. But his post went ultra viral back in the day. Like this was back in like 2013 or some shit, wasn't it? But he ended up having to go to Hanoi and defend himself. He was actually one of the first people to ever defend himself against the VCP without a lawyer. He speaks fluent Vietnamese, and he actually had to go in there speaking only Vietnamese. And his fight was not to stay in Vietnam, it was to allow them to let him take his family out of Vietnam. Because they were threatening to deport him, but he can't keep his family with him. He can't take his family back to America, right? So he ended up winning that case, took his family, went back to Seattle or some shit like that. But yeah, his comment wasn't even that bad. The shit I say is 100% worse. He just made a comment about like Vietnam emperors. It's like insulting Ho Chi Minh. You just don't do it, right? It's the same idea. Yeah, the thing about social media is even if you hit the little heart emoji under somebody's comment that says something bad, that person that made that emoji can also get slapped with the Decree 117 and get in a lot of trouble. It's crazy. I think they updated the digital social media laws like a month and a half ago. So even leaving an emoji or a like on a comment that's anti-government will get you in trouble now. What's wrong with being a generic lawyer? Nothing. But what's wrong with being a generic lawyer that doesn't understand the law, misrepresents the law, creates videos that fear-monger people, and then mislead people with clickbait shit? Even his comment section starting to show these types of like responses. Like what was it? He did a video about Decree 88 or 89 where they deport people for expired visas or some shit like that. And he did a video for 15 minutes about if you act like an asshole, the government's going to deport you. No, that's actually not true. And it was mind-boggling to me that a lawyer misrepresented a Vietnamese law. That's why I'm curious what kind of a lawyer he is. That decree was an administrative update saying if somebody comes up to the border to leave Vietnam and their visa's expired, these are the steps you do, right? If you're in Da Nang and you punch somebody, they're not going to deport you immediately. You're going to go through trial for criminal actions, and then you're going to be deported based off that. It has nothing to do with that decree. So that guy just like propagates shit. It's very weird to me. I don't think it's hating. It's just like, it's misleading. And now he's doing videos on like corny ass shit. This is a lawyer, dude. And there's nothing wrong being a generic lawyer. I get it. Like, it's like being what do you call that? Like a doctor, right? Like the family doctor. You're kind of like a generic doctor for a little of everything, right? Jack of all trades. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with him being a generic lawyer. He helps you with the basic, normal, everyday stuff. Cool. But he also fear-mongers people. He misleads people. He does this like WEF shit. If people think the WEF are the reason why Vietnam is doing what it's doing, they're retarded. The WEF is not pushing Vietnam against the curb saying, you are going to do world order right now. They are not doing that. Vietnam is economically in an economic disaster. They are financially fucking broke. Last year's GDP for exporting was something, it was, what was it? Like out of 100%, like 75 to 77% of all the export GDP out of Vietnam was from FDI, meaning Vietnam doesn't even keep that money. Vid Group is financially bankrupt at this point. Like financially speaking, they're bankrupt. If you close VinHomes, the entire company would go bankrupt. VinFast, all these are bankrupt. Well, bankrupt's the wrong word. They're all financially negative. They're in the red, right? Nothing wrong with being like a generic lawyer. I just wouldn't take him serious. Yeah, I wouldn't take him serious. If you go through the AI camera, knows everything about ninja, millisecond. Yeah, that's the thing about the. I don't. You guys let me know. You guys are out there, I guess. But I know some Oppo. It's Oppo and Huawei, if I'm not mistaken. When you install VinEID onto those phones, it automatically turns on the GPS for the app. Right. So the app is always running in the background. This is something a lot of Vietnamese on Facebook are complaining about. When they install the VinEID app on their phone, which you're required to now, their battery life is like, it's like 20% shorter now. So this means something's running in the background. Well, what is that? I don't know. But it is interesting though. And the thing about it is you can't delete it. Like Vietnamese are not allowed to delete that app off their phone. If you get pulled over and then you don't have it, they're going to be like, install it. Come on, bro. Like you're not in trouble. They're just like, hey, you need to install it. Whatever, right? When you go to Vitel to resubmit your SIM card as a Vietnamese, do your biometrics, they require you to install VinEID on your phone so they can register your SIM card through VinEID on your phone through your biometrics. You see? So I think if you just delete the app, I don't know what that would do on a Vietnamese phone. But I know as of now, anybody that's the age of 9 years old and above have to have their own SIM card and a VinEID. My nephew has VinEID and his own SIM card because it's required. He's only 13, 14, right? Yeah, those cameras know everything, man. And again, your license plate number is linked to your VinEID, which is linked to your license, your home, your bank account, your education, your medical. They added criminal history to VinEID last week or last month, right? So everything's in there. Feels so negative today, right? But why is this not loading? Hold on. No! Give me 10 seconds. Oh yeah, married is big, yeah. I don't know, man. I have the same thought. If somebody's married in Vietnam, you should have a plan B when your kids are old enough to leave. I mean, if you are in Vietnam and you're married and you're like, I don't know, in your 50s, your wife's like 35, 40, and you don't plan on having kids, then fuck it. Just stay in Vietnam. Like, honestly, like, sincerely, I mean that. Like, just fuck it, right? Like, you'll be all right. Like, seriously, I think you'll be all right. But if you're having kids and things, that's when things, for me personally, change. So I don't, because I see a lot of older guys like in their 40s and 50s marrying like 22, 23-year-olds. I'm assuming they're going to have kids. Like, why would you marry a girl that graduated high school like 12 minutes ago, right? It's probably for fidelity, like for children, right? Why is the Wi-Fi broken? Huh. Yeah, if you're married and you're older, you don't plan on having kids, just stay. Like I don't really have any like argument to say you should leave. I mean, yeah, like fuck it. Enjoy, man. Like seriously, enjoy it. Like honestly. Because you're not worried about like the kids and them getting indoctrinated and living in that shithole. Would you have stayed in Vietnam if you were successful, Vietnam business not working for somebody? Well, I owed both of my schools, I sold them. I left Vietnam because of the writing on the wall. I saw what was going on. When I moved to Hanoi, that was the change. When I started working in 2 different ministries, when I was working at a bank there, when I started going to different English centers doing like advisement, I started seeing a lot of things. I started hearing a lot of things. And when I got to Da Nang, things started fast forwarding. I was like, nah, I'm done. Nah, I'm not doing this shit, bro. Like the writing for me was on the wall because I was seeing what the future president was trying to do. Because before he got elected, he already had something like 70 new tax laws and regulations on paper as codes that he wanted to pass once he got approved as president, right? Because the only one that can tell him no is the party leader. He is the party leader, right? And a lot of those laws passed on July 1st. The July 1st was a lot of like taxation and then EID requirements. So it affected Vietnamese a lot. What is wrong with the internet, dude? Was it just an iPad thing? But yeah, I mean, no, I wasn't. After the pandemic, things just got weird, bro. You couldn't convince me to stay in Vietnam. The auto deduction will be fun to watch. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. People are going to complain, but nobody's going to be able to do anything about it. What do you have to say? Yeah, TRC tied to an employer allows the employer to make larger threats. Yeah. Schools have always done that though. Like that's the danger of a TRC is you kind of, because schools are shady as fuck, dude. English centers, I don't care which one it is, they are shady if you don't play their way. Yeah, always about control. Vitel can legally access businesses and home. What do you mean legally? Vitel is owned by the military, bro. There is no legally, they can. It's kind of crazy. What is the password in Saigon? 5555555, right? 8 times. Some number 8 times. It's funny. Yeah. Yeah, the Dan thing, yeah, he made a comment about somebody and his whole defense was just getting, because the issue with Dan was he was famous as fuck in Vietnam. He was the most famous YouTuber in Vietnam at that time. Nobody came close to this guy. And he was famous with the Vietnamese, not the foreigners. Is that how you spell his last name? No. I definitely spell his name wrong. Fuck, I forgot. It was Dan something. I think he wrote it too, didn't you? Oh, no S. Okay. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, this guy was ultra famous in Vietnam. And he was famous with the Vietnamese. Yeah, 8 years ago. It's been a while, dude. Yeah, he speaks fluent. This guy does not speak English on his videos. Yeah, he was a pretty cool dude, and he was very informative to Vietnamese people. That was the thing, though. He spoke the language. He talked to the people. He taught them English, stuff like that.
Hôm nay mình tập không? Yeah.
All his comments Vietnamese, right?
Yeah.
But he made that comment, and it just got popular within the Vietnamese. That's the only reason he got in trouble. If I don't know, fucking Edmund did a comment like that right now, I don't think anything would happen to him. Because he's nobody to the government, right? He's on YouTube. His viewership are all Western people, yada, 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 right? So it's what it is. But that's the thing too. I've heard about this. where it's been talked about where when people say things on social media that are anti-government, but they're not Vietnamese, and they're married or they have a TRC, they can start tracking these people. So if a Westerner hypothetically says something about the government and they're married to a citizen, they can find out who the wife is to track the husband, and then they can go after the wife. So it's very weird shit, because they do this in China already. Uh, Even the US, sure. I mean, every government's doing this at this point. Like, what about the UK? What about Canada's been doing it for like 8 years? Australia is falling in that trap. Like, every Western country is collapsing towards this crap. So, I mean, I don't know anymore. Like, I think America is just going to be the last country to lose control of like freedom and shit like that. It's just going to be the last one. Because Canada's lost it already. What is wrong with the fucking internet? Europe is a joke. The UK is like having some serious issues right now. It's like it rains, so the internet is like, nah, I'm good. I'm pretty sure you need our service is the intention. Yeah. Not to centralize data, but to control the data. Yeah. Like for my family, we do online school. It's all American based. I mean, we can hate America all fucking day. I don't give two fucks about people's opinion on that to this extent, but it offers critical thinking and a better chance for a Vietnamese kid to learn, right? So that's why I do it. But yeah, PACE program's really good too. Woo, excuse me. For elderly. Yeah, these are good ways to go. 100%, man. Like, if you're gonna have kids in Vietnam, man, like, don't. That's the thing too, is if you have a child in Vietnam and it is a Vietnamese citizen, it kind of has to be, right? Especially if you stay. By law, they have to go to school until 8th grade. It's required by law. And they just made it illegal like 2 weeks ago. I don't know, you guys can ask your wife or whatever. I don't know the degree for this, but they made homeschooling illegal. Where is that actually? Somebody sent me that like a week ago. Hold on. Like, you're not allowed to homeschool your kids anymore. So it is literally illegal. And this also affects private tutors, like Vietnamese ones that like teach extra classes. They're not allowed to really do this anymore. Links. I get sent so much stuff, it's insane. Hold on, give me a second, let me find it.
Đây là Lê Xuân Vũ, sinh 1500.
Ni hao ma. Nah. These are old. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Vin EID. Yeah, this is the update registration. Like, just for shits, I'll put this in English. The amount of shit they require is actually insane. Oh, it's the same thing. Where'd it go? Yeah, this is it right here. Sorry, let me switch that over. Yeah, birth certificate, bank account information, payment account information, e-wallets, mobile money account information, social security accounts information, mobile subscriber information, number information, electronic health records. Also, in addition to these, depends on administration, citizens may need to integrate driver's license, vehicle registration, diplomas, certifications, personal tax IDs, land use rights, criminal records, marriage certificate. All of this is on VinEID. Imagine if your social security number in America had all this shit on it. You would be like, no. Fuck that. That's how crazy it is, bro. It's actually wild. But yeah, administrative investigation seeking opinion on removing third subject. Oh no, this is for the Yeah, they want to remove another. Why is the internet not working? It's very slow. Oh, okay, so this is the removing. So we're on one. Ooh, I can't show that. This is like registration. Remember this thing? This came up a long time ago. Like you have to like register somebody, even if it's like your cousin that stay in the night, you have to register them. It's fucking crazy, bro. Yeah, they're trying to remove like another exam. So now the kid doesn't really have to take a high school exam anymore to graduate. But I mean, what are they going to take an exam in? They don't teach them shit. Oh my gosh, I'm hungry. Most pickup trucks are not allowed in city. Yeah, yeah. This was another thing too. They're starting to ban like trucks in Saigon. They were doing this in Hanoi like 2 years ago. Oh yeah, VinID is a fucking mess. What is all this? Empty for 6 months. Da Nang is gonna turn into a Chinese ghost town. They just keep building shit. There's not much to say about this, bro. Fastest visa run. This guy's still doing visa runs.
It's a border about that. If you're trying to stay
Uh, yeah, the coping is fucking insane. People are just like not accepting that Vietnam is doing what it's doing. Oh, he made a new channel. Oh, is this his new channel? Interesting. Yeah, I don't know how much longer this shit's gonna last. Because I've heard in Mok Bai, this is the Cambodian Vietnam border for like Saigon area. But they've started to pull people aside and just ask them questions. Like not so much interrogation, they always let them through, but they're just asking a lot of questions, making people scared. Which is a very good way to do it. Instead of just like banning visa runners, they're just kind of making them concerned. Because it's the same in Thailand too. Like if you sit there doing visa runs, they will after like it's like 5 months, they pull you aside of immigration, be it the land or the airport. They're like, "What are you doing? Do you work here? Why do you keep coming back and forth? What's going on, bro?" Right? They do that in Thailand, and then after like what, a year, the prime minister got removed. After that, they just cut off and they made like 183-day residency law. So I don't know if Vietnam will do the same. It doesn't sound like it anymore. But what they're doing is they're making it very fucking hard. You can't open a bank account. Your SIM card, you're probably gonna have to think about it. A Vietnamese person, if they change their SIM card in their phone, they have, what is it, 2 hours to update it or their phone's locked out? But they're allowing foreigners for 90 days to have a SIM card unattached, just a passport? Nah. I'm sorry, nah, the government's not doing, nah. That sounds like a loophole. Yeah, I would not recommend flying out of an airport for a visa run, especially if you've been here a long time like Travis. Like do like Lin Visa because they bring like I know it takes longer, but you're at least in a group, you know what I mean? I don't know, I think Travis is a good guy. I got nothing against that guy at all. I'm confused he's still doing what he's doing. Education, yeah, education in Vietnam's a joke. I strongly suggest not raising a child in Vietnam if you want a child. Dude, that's the thing about education. If your kid graduate from Saigon University, pick one, right? Whatever, pick one. If they go to like Hanoi and use that degree, most jobs in Hanoi will not accept it. They will only accept like Hanoi University degrees. It's fucking crazy. It's a real thing too. Registry is wild here. Yeah, I hear it's getting worse. Isn't there what is this shit? Yeah, I hear it's getting pretty rampant in Da Nang. Libya pizza. I miss that shit. Yeah, I think Vietnam's a good country to visit. Seriously is. But these people that like try to live or they like, what is that guy's name? Kevin, right? Like this is a prime example. Like, and this is why I started following him, because I was just curious, because everything he was saying was chaos. Because he was a victim of Will Travel and Kevin's bullshit. But he was doing some videos some time back. You guys, maybe it's one of these, I don't know. But he started talking about the visa run. He didn't want to keep doing them, so he's going to start a business, or he's going to get a student visa. You can't get a student visa in Vietnam if you're like over the age of like 30. The government will not allow it. They will look at it as fraud. And if they do accept you, you got to pay like 3 years in advance for the school, pay for your accommodations a year in advance. It's actually pretty tedious because they know people use it as a loophole. Oh, I'm going to go to the international school of Hanoi, learn Vietnamese. Now I got a 2-year visa. Like, they know what's going on. They're not retarded. Like, Vietnam government is not stupid. It's unhumane what they're doing, but they're not stupid. Oh, is it getting bad? Hold on. Oh my God. No, you still got like 9. Oh, like we living on that hotspot. How bad is it? Give me a sec. No, they're not retarded. Like, Vietnam government is not stupid. It's inhumane what they're doing, but they're not stupid. Oh, they're getting bad. Hold on. Seems better. No, hopefully it's better now. I think my phone was getting hot because I use it like a hotspot. Minimize. No, here it is. But yeah, like this guy was doing like videos about like, I'm gonna do this, get a business visa, and then he started like dating some random Vietnamese. So I don't know if he's just gonna go the route of like just marrying somebody for citizenship. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I feel bad for a lot of these guys, and I don't mean that like a pity way. It's just they were misled. Sell everything, move to Vietnam, but they just, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't tell people to avoid it. It's hit and miss. It's a great spot to visit. But to live, nah. What is this? Love the honesty. What nobody tells you? Oh. Hey. That's what we was talking about. Sensory overload, yeah. Visa restrictions. Unlike other neighboring countries, Vietnam does offer long-term. Every country offers long-term, even Vietnam does, but you just have to like do something. Like if the goal is to just sit around and drink beer and eat pizza and that's it, like, yeah, there's not a lot of solutions. I mean, even Thailand, Malaysia, and Japan have restrictions. Like you can't just like visa run in these countries and do nothing. They want you to provide a service, right? If like think about like I'm an American, right? Like I wouldn't want a bunch of people just going to America living on food stamps and just doing nothing and just renewing their visas all the time, doing nothing, right? It's a toll on the country. It's not good. And when you get a lot of these like YouTubers like this, and it's no hate towards these people, but they're not providing value to Vietnam. If you get married in Vietnam, you are not providing value. Let's hypothetically, what happens? You get married, right? Maybe you buy a house. So there's what, $200,000-$300,000. The government gets like 3 to 5% of that from taxes and shit, right? And then after that, your wife is shopping, your kids are living basic, right? And I'm not saying you guys isn't you, but in general, we become like normal Vietnamese people. We spend like Vietnamese. A lot of these YouTubers do videos on like how to live on $1,000 a month. The government doesn't want that. A Chinese family will come to Vietnam for 7 days and spend $4,000 and go home. A Korean family will do the same. Indian people, not as much, but they do the same idea. They spend a couple $1,000s and go back to India, right? Like them or hate them, that's what they do. Russians, they live here. Americans, they stay here. Everybody stays here. You know what I mean? And it's not a benefit. Also, there's no tax code for foreigners. So if you do get married here, there's no way for the government to tax them, right? In Thailand, they can tax you as a foreigner, retired. Malaysia has a tax system. Philippines is working on a tax system for these people, right? Vietnam has nothing. That's why I say anybody telling you they're going to make a retirement visa in Vietnam is, they need to show you the proof. And the proof is a taxation law. Until Vietnam makes a tax law for long staying foreigners, they're not going to, why would they make a retirement visa and then a tax law? It would be the tax law first, then the visa extensions, then a retirement, then a PRC, right? There's a step process. And this process is already written into the decree. They just haven't done them yet. So I don't see it happening like ever. There's no value to have a foreigner here. And there's no opportunity. You can't really get a job, like English teacher, like, and it's not the foreigner's fault. There's just no opportunity. If you live in Bangkok, there's a lot of opportunity for a foreigner. You can be a manager, you can work at a bank, you can be an English teacher, sure. You can also work at a restaurant, hospitality, work at a hotel. You can work at the airport or something, right? I've seen a lot of foreigners in Bangkok that do Thai jobs. They make pretty good salary too. Vietnam has none of these options. You can't work at a coffee shop in Vietnam because nobody's going to accept 40 cents an hour, 50 cents an hour. So it's a very weird thing, but what a dumb comment. The ones that illegally invaded Vietnam were the North in 1975. Go read that to your school. I'm so tired. See, like, look at these foreigners. Westerners did the French colonization and America invaded war. America never invaded Vietnam. Shut the fuck. I'm so tired of this. America was defending South Vietnam from communism. The South did not want this. America left in 73, the war ended in 75. So what was happening for 2 years wasn't a fucking invasion. I hate these comments anger me. America left Vietnam in 1973, yet the war ended in 75. Who invaded who? I'm sorry, I get angry with that comment. That shit triggers me like a motherfucker. Vietnam beat the French. They beat the shit out of them, but they didn't beat America. They didn't beat China. 1979 invasion from China. China came down for 1 day, fucked up some city near Haizang, and then went back to China to prove to Russia that they were not loyal to Vietnam Party. They were loyal to Russian communists. It's crazy too. Like, I don't know. This subject gets on my fucking nerves. This is like, and the fact that it's a foreigner. Imagine a bunch of black people from Africa telling Cuba to shut the fuck up. your government's doing great. You don't understand. Like, said no Cuban. It's so weird to me, man. Yeah, this guy's not even Vietnamese. He's some corny ass dork that plays anime cartoons. What the fuck? This guy's weird. Yeah, this is just another like old Western person that married some high school girl. David getting angry over here. So tired of that shit, man. But never talk about that in Vietnam. You will get in trouble. You know, if you Google communist top 20, you'll see somebody on that list. Can't say it. Anyways, what is this? Oh yeah, this is about the schools. A lot of these people don't get it. So when it comes to like English centers, ILA, Apollo, all these, like I've worked at all these as advisors. They all have one objective: keeping students there long term. Schools like Apollo, Scots English, and I think those are the two main ones. And well, there's a couple small ones near Da Nang, but they started last year. They started setting up KPI systems for foreign teachers, meaning if you can convince the students to stay in your class another 3 months, they'll give you like a portion of like what they pay. The business model for Vietnam English centers is to just keep the kids in there long term. It's not to learn English. You will never go to an English center, no matter the age, and see them using a book past level 3. It is so rare. It is, unless they're high school kids about to take the IELTS exam, it just doesn't happen. And after like 3 to 5 years, they speak zero fucking English. They're on like friends and family level 3. Parents are like, what's going on? It's been 3 years, my kid's an idiot. Oh, they missed a lesson. We'll put him in level 2 again, right? And then they take more money. It's a scam, bro. Like, I like Pete. He's a good guy, but he seems like he has more hope in education than Vietnam does. It's actually kind of crazy. Can you script this?
Back to this, VUS versus ILA, Apollo.
But when it comes to like these schools, and I think I've shown you guys this before, teaching, and there it is. There's a couple schools that are worth working at. Where can you contact? My email should be in the description. One of them. I have a lot of them, but yeah. But this is a good, like, when it comes to like English centers, I would pretty much recommend like VUS or EMG. Like places like ILA are just shitholes at this point. Like they are so underwater, it's embarrassing. They used to be the powerhouse of English centers too. They are like underwater. EMG though is a good one. VUS is a really good one. EMG, what makes them good is you focus on public schools. So there's more regulation on like how the schools are functioning and how control is. And these kids have to act correctly because it's a government school. EMG has the foundation of an English center, meaning how they treat their teachers is like if you worked at ILA or VUS, right? But you only teach in public schools. Things like ILA, VUS and stuff, you teach in an English center. Schools like ILA now, they're sending you to public schools, but the salary's like 50% cut, which is really shitty. But VUS would probably be one of the better schools to work at if you're in Saigon. If you're in Hanoi or Saigon, I would say VUS or EMG. If you're in Hanoi, I would say like Apollo is a good one-ish. It's hard to recommend these, man. Like it's really hard. Like And the thing about it, like, I wasn't a teacher in a lot of these schools. I was working in the administrative side. I wasn't in there teaching English for a lot of these. I've only worked for, I guess, 3 English centers, like, as a teacher. No, 4, ever, right? The other 20-some English centers I've worked at, I was in an admin. I was working as management side. I was helping curriculum rebuild. When I was in Hanoi, we went to different schools like Apollo, Scots English, and all these, and I helped advise, help rewrite curriculum, help the teachers, the Arab teachers, which is a lot of them in Hanoi, how to teach English critically, right? This was my job, but doing this, I got to hear a lot of shit, see a lot of shit, hear the Vietnamese talk, right? Oh, you can speak Vietnamese. They would just like talk my ear off on how shitty life is, right? It's fucking crazy, bro. Like, the revolving door for TAs in Hanoi is insane. They can't keep a Vietnamese TA more than like 5 weeks. Like, they just keep the amount of pressure they put on those people. It's insane. But yeah, if you're gonna Wall Street, I wouldn't. This is like it's a good concept to Chinese ran school, but they only focus on adults, but you only do super part-time. I don't think they give you a work permit. But that's what I'd recommend. VUS, I would avoid ILA. ILA also forces you to get a CELTA. I've heard from teachers. You don't need a CELTA in Vietnam. That is a waste of money. It's stupid to get a CELTA in Vietnam. Because I think the only country that requires a CELTA to get a legal work permit is like Spain. Like, CELTA's good, but when you're teaching in Vietnam or Thailand, where the classrooms are pay to win and chaos, it's a waste of fucking time, right? It's like if I spent 4 years learning how to fix 1960 cars, right? I'm a mechanic pro, and then I go work at Tesla working on their cars. It's like I just wasted 4 years of my life because I'm not going to use any of that. Now I got to learn EVs, right? It's kind of this, it's the same idea. CELTA teaches you how to be a proper good teacher. And it's about a 3-month program. However, when you get into a place like Vietnam, it's just fucking chaos. Just play games. If you guys are in my Patreon over here, I think every level, hold on. Yeah, I think every level I give out ebooks. So if you are a teacher, they're all free in the membership area. Where'd it go? Hold on. Yeah, they're in here somewhere. Like, I stopped putting these in there, so don't worry about it. It's all teaching and shit like that. But yeah, there's some things that I only talk about on the Patreon, like because there's some rules I just can't talk about on like a live stream. Like, there are things I can't say on public feed. But never mind. Found your email access. Oh, is that what it is? Okay. I know it's on there. I swear it's on there. I'll swear. Hold on. What is he saying?
Undercover so that I can read. Which one is better? I actually worked at a couple of these places in Vietnam and I have very close friends who all work with you need to know Apollo and ILA or if that's just
How do you speed it up?
curriculums. ILA is slightly better. Level international school or
See, that's the thing about international schools. I'm sure almost nobody will get these jobs. International typically hires people that are not in Vietnam. You usually have to have a master's degree to work at most international schools in Vietnam because they're registered through Western nations or they're accredited to the BBC, right? British Council, some shit. Not the TV network, but you know what I mean.
About it in work.
Email sent.
And the make sure this less than with the good slide.
Copy that.
Now we're in US. And I can really good like all the materials, the slides and such, it's Asia and these development process.
Yeah, man. None of this. I'm not sure what to say about this. Like, none of this shit. I think I left comments on is what it was. Yeah, they're all the same. The business model is keeping kids in school forever, teaching them nothing. ILA used to be a respect the school due to its higher pay and mass amount of teachers. ILA is if I let's say ILA was an American company in America right now, they would be on the brink of bankruptcy right now. This is where ILA stands financially. They are not doing good. They've also had a lot of problems with paying teachers on time. Anyone trying to be successful as an English teacher knows one thing, be fun, yeah. If you come to Vietnam to be a real teacher, like a professor or some shit, you'll be fired. I guarantee you. Anyone putting in real teacher that will fail you, yeah. This is the thing about Vietnam. You could go to an English center for a demo lesson, right? And just play games. Just play games. They will hire you. They're like, hey, we want you to teach about animals, right? Just play games. Fuck the lesson. Like, talk about animals, sure, but make it a game. Do that for 20 minutes, they'll cut you off, say, hey, that's enough, you're hired. But if you start teaching them, acting like a teacher, you're at a 50-50 chance. Because now they're like, I mean, we could teach him to be more fun, but he is handsome, right? You're gonna get into that like window. But being fun is definitely, no, it is. I respect, no. ILA Berea is hiring. They're always hiring. Why would you live in Berea? That's a government. Well, I guess it's not now because Saigon owns. Like Saigon and Berea are the same province now. Berea used to be a government area. I lived there for like 7 months. This is when I worked at the Ministry of Education there. We were helping Vietnamese teachers properly teach English to Vietnamese students. So they were prepared to go to Saigon for university testing. It was a fun time, but yeah, because I mean, you're like 35 minutes away from Vung Tau. Yeah. Are you still in Cambodia? Yeah, I wouldn't be talking like this if I wasn't. I've said too much. What is this? 15 reasons why you need to leave Vietnam. Right? Why would you leave? Don't leave. No more money, no money. This is such a stupid thing. Like, this is just saying, like, if you don't have money, you can't have a prostitute and a good time in Vietnam. Like, that's a horrible thing to fucking say. Why would I want to be in a place in my old age where I have to travel, leave every 3 months? I'm too old for that, yeah. Look how, like, toxic people are about Vietnam. Because you have never lived. Take no notice of this bullshit video. Yeah, Vietnam never had a type of retirement for its people. Vietnam has no retirement program. Like, government people will get something, farmers get like a pension. It's like 500 to 800,000 a month. So it's like 15, it's like $14 to $20 a month they get for a pension. If farmers do, mind you. Government people, it's usually a lot more. As to respect the old is up to the, no. I don't think respect and Vietnam go hand in hand. No, that's all bullshit, man. Yeah. These guys want to go to jail. Yep. Look at this. You're even getting Vietnamese, and I'm sure these are 3Q. If you guys aren't aware of VicQ people, they call it 3Q. Right, Bakkao, right? This just means these are Vietnamese born abroad. They call them traitors. That's the thing too, like the Vietnam War. The South Vietnamese fled to America, right? 73. Because they knew what was about to happen. The Vietnamese people call these Vietnamese people traitors to the party. That's all it is. That's why they call them Three Stick. They're heavily hated. Heavily hated. What? Structure, legal barriers, no retirement visa, financial, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's not a lot here on this one, man. This is like rinse and repeat shit. Kind of curious though. Hey, it's Undertaker. An atheist. Am I in Cambodia? I'm always in Cambodia. This isn't allowed. You're not allowed to talk about him in China. This is actually kind of illegal. This is crazy. They don't understand Ho Chi Minh. Like he was married to a Chinese woman. He had 3 kids in China. He spoke Chinese. He lived there for a long time. He also was in France, Russia, Soviet, and then he just appeared in Vietnam one day. It's actually like it's an interesting story. Why is he partaking capitalist? These people are dumb. That's my Jesus Christ. He would be very disappointed. No. My honest 2 cents, if Ho Chi Minh is with us today, he would be ecstatic on what the current administration is doing. He is doing exactly what Ho Chi Minh wanted to do. You don't think he was? Jesus Christ, these people don't understand who this man, nobody seems to understand who this man was, what he did. There's a mission behind what he did. It was not, yeah, that's crazy, bro. Is there like propaganda going on? Why is everyone posting this now? Whenever you see a bunch of the same shit, it's propaganda usually. That's my 2 cents. Yeah, they let the guy go. So this is a guy that the government guy that ran over the high school girl. And she's not with us no more. They let him go. We've suspended your account. This is becoming common with Vietnamese people. Short-term rental, linebacker. Ooh. I actually know this book. This book would send you to fucking jail in Vietnam. Yeah. This book is illegal as fuck. What are we doing? Don't care. Yeah, Facebook has been banning a lot of Vietnamese people. It seems that you lack 30 million. Article 117. Yeah, you can't post about. See, that's the thing too. So he got Meta banned his account because he was talking about that government official in the car. They even went after this is a foreigner, right? Yeah, they went after a foreigner. It's crazy. Just in case you're worried, it doesn't make America too good. Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up. America did a lot of bad, but they would have never done anything if North Vietnam was acting like North Korea. Yeah, this is weird, man. Capitalism. Why does everyone hate capitalism? Like, what is the solution? Like, socialism is free shit? That went wonderful for Cuba and Russia and China. A lot of South America, Central North Africa, Canada. That's interesting. We'll save that for later. It's interesting, man. Yeah, that's it. Shit. Did I get everything? I think we're good today, man. All right, I'm gonna go eat. Starving. It's like 12 o'clock on the dot. I think we got everything, man. So if you're in the members group, I posted a video today already. Hold on. Yeah, I already posted the video in there. So if you're in the members group, you'll see it now. Where to go? What is it called? Vietnam English. Yeah, I actually talked about Vietnam English teaching a little bit. Just kind of answer some of the basic questions I keep getting asked. And also just check out the, where'd that video go? There's another one. Hold on. Your channel. Yeah, there it is. Where'd that one video go? I look so angry. Yeah, definitely this one too. If you're curious about Vietnam, I just put this video yesterday. I break down in short form a lot of things that are changing right now in Vietnam. So it kind of pushes back on what a lot of people are saying in regards to like regulations, stuff like that. Check that out if you want to see it. And then this one should be up, I think tomorrow or the next day. So, but with that being said, guys, I think I'm going to get out of here. I'm getting messaged like crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. So thank you so much for watching, man. It's nice seeing you guys all in here. Do I have a full camera? Yo, I think I fixed the camera. It charges now. So I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Check out again, if you're on the Patreon, a lot of this shit's already in there. Also, if you want to help out, we're trying to get this bastard to 500. But my other channel, this is where I kind of just play around. But check out Rock David if you guys want to help out. Trying to get this bastard to 500. So go check those out. I put a video yesterday. Yeah, a bunch of videos are coming up here right now. So check that out. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I appreciate the insight. JC, it's nice seeing you again, my friend. I see you over there hiding out in Vietnam. But with that, I will see you guys again. Ni hao.
Should up, wake me up, don't wake me up. Southeast Asia's got my soul in a rush. From the jungles to the streets, I'm alive in the scene. Let me stay in this moment, living my dream. I'm rolling through Bangkok, lights flash in the night. Tuk-tuks and markets, yeah, it's feeling so right. Got my pack on my back, Chiang Mai's calling my name. Lanterns in the sky, yo, I'm caught in the flame. Bali's rice terraces, green as far as I see. Ubud's monkey forest, got my spirit running free. Sipping Bia Hoi and Hunter, streets alive with the sound. Every corner's a vibe, yo, my heart's unbound. Kopangan's full moon, dancing under the stars. Sand in my toes, no cares, just bars. From Siem Reap's temples to the Mekong's flow. This journey's my high, don't let it go. Don't wake me up, 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 up. Southeast Asia's got my heart in a rush. Don't wake me up, 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 up. This backpacker's dream, I'm never giving it up. From the beaches to the peaks, I'm lost in the thrill. Every moment so alive, got my soul feeling filled. Don't wake me up, 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 up. Let me live this SC Asia dream, never giving it up. Vang Vieng's rivers tubing through the haze. Las Cars mountains got me lost in the days. Phnom Penh's hustle, cycle rides in the heat. Street food sizzling, yeah, my heart skips a beat. Penang's murals, colors painting